This is the biggest Megaminx in the world. It weighs over 10 kilograms and is covered by 6,612 stickers, all of which needed to be glued down individually. The turning quality is surprisingly good for a puzzle of this size made with FDM 3D printing. You can even do one finger turns on the outer layer, though the other layers are a bit more catchy. This puzzle has 5,993 moving parts, which took 2 months to print and hundreds of hours to design, process, and assemble. That's 222 times more parts than are found in a classic 3x3x3 Rubik's Cube. Which means that unbelievably, the 3x3s in Graham Siggins' 250 cube multi-blind attempt actually totaled more moving pieces than this puzzle. But the question is, with almost 6,000 pieces to arrange, how many different possible ways can you scramble this puzzle? This is the formula used to calculate the total number of permutations. In other words, the number of different ways that you can arrange all of the pieces in this puzzle. This term counts the number of ways that you can permute all of the puzzle's 20 corners, and this one describes the way you can orient those 20 corners. Not sure what any of the mess here in the denominator is, but what I do know is that when we plug n into this term, we get the astronomically huge number of 60 factorial to the 99th power, which leads to the total number of permutations in this puzzle being 8.6 times 10 to the 7,924th power. But how big is that number really? It transcends anything in the physical world. There are not even close to that number of particles in the observable universe. So let me reframe this number as a probability, a 1 in 8.6 times 10 to the 7,924th chance. So, what kind of stuff has a 1 in 8.6 times 10 to the 7,924th chance of happening? Well, that's your odds of being struck by lightning 1,893 times during your lifetime. It's also the odds of getting 1,890 last layer skips in a row. But if last layer skips are a little too suspicious, it's also the odds of getting 4,266 PLL skips in a row. And finally, you have a 1 in 8.6 times 10 to the 7,924th power chance that tonight a meteorite will come hurtling through the atmosphere and smash your bed while you're sleeping, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And then an additional 613 more times before the night is through. This puzzle was largely printed on the new Anycubic Kobra 3D printer. Anycubic sent me one of these printers, and I gotta say it was perfect for a project like this. The printer has auto bed leveling, which really helped keeping parts consistent over the hundreds of individual prints needed to complete a puzzle like this. The build plate is magnetic, though I really had very little need to remove it, as PLA printed parts pretty much release themselves from the build plate once it's cooled down a little bit. The Kobra also comes with a direct drive extruder, which I personally prefer, and it allows for printing in a wider variety of materials, which is a nice touch. I used Polymaker's Polylite PLA for the majority of the pieces, and the results were strong, smooth parts that required very little post-processing before being placed into the puzzle. I also experimented with Polymaker's high-strength PLA, and that allowed me to include very thin parts into the design of this puzzle. Parts like that would normally be too fragile if printed with standard PLA, so this opens up a whole lot of new design possibilities moving forward. Links to both the printer and the filament used to make this puzzle can be found in the description below. Now, I did not go through the trouble of spending hundreds of hours making this puzzle just to break a record that I myself already held. This puzzle exists for one reason, and one reason only. I just want to say right off the bat, scrambling this puzzle was a terrible mistake. Though the turning of this puzzle is a big improvement over the Atlas Minx, it's still a far cry from mass-produced puzzles. As a result, just scrambling this puzzle took over an hour. So then that brings up the question, how long is this puzzle going to take to solve? Comment down below with your best guess. Whoever's guess is closest will have their comment pinned. Though I gotta say, it's probably going to be a while before you figure out if you were the closest, because solving this puzzle is taking a lot longer than I thought it would, so it's going to be a while before the solve video comes out. Overall, this was a really fun project, and I feel like I succeeded in improving the turning quality quite a bit over my previous giant twisty puzzles. I might revisit record-breaking Minxes again someday, but for now, this has been the Minx of Madness. Thanks for watching.